Good day everyone. So we are group 9. So today we will discuss about mobile commerce. So we have key terminologies we will discuss. So first is mobile commerce, mobile computing, cellular phones, Bluetooth technology, global positioning system, instant messaging, international roaming, global system for mobile communication, for short GSMC, wireless devices, personal digital assistant, 1G, 2G, and 3D technologies, wireless fidelity for short Wi-Fi, short messaging service, multimedia messaging service, wireless application protocol.
Noong 1879, unang naimbento ni Alexander Graham Bell ang telepono. Gawa ito sa kahoy at metal. Para makausap mo ang iyong gustong kausapin, kailangan mo ilagay sa iyong tenga ang receiver and magsalita sa transmitter. Noong 1892 naman is lumitaw ang Western Electric Folding Cabinet. Ito is modernong telepono na ginagamit sa mga hotel, telephone booth at sa mga private house. Maliit ito kasi sa unang naimbento ni Alexander Graham Bell. And itong telepono nito ay madaling bitbitin dahil sa kanyang kakayahan na matupi. And noong 1899 naman po is naimbento ang Strong Automatic Telephone Exchange Company 10 digit. Ito naman po is yung hindi na ginagamitan ng operator para makausap ang ibang tao. Kailangan mo na lang i-dial ang number ng iyong gustong kausapin. And noong 1900 naman naimbento ang kilala bilang tinatawag na oil can dahil sa hugis nito, and mas matibay ito sa mga unang naimbento and mas madaling gamitin, and ito is nalalagay na lang sa lamesa. Noong 1920 naman naimbento ang Magnavox Anti-Nose Desk set. Ito yung telepono na hindi naririnig nung kausap mo yung nasa paligid mo. Ginagamit ito noon dati ng mga militar habang kausap ang ibang tao dahil hindi nito naririnig yung ingay sa paligid. Noong 1960 naman nauso ang video phone. Ito is nakikita mo na yung kausap mo and nakikita mo na kung ano yung ginagawa niya. And noong 1980 naman is naimbento ang unang mobile phone. Mas madali ito dahil pwede mo nang makausap ang yung gustong kausapin sa kahit saang lugar. And noong 1990 naman nauso yung cordless phone. And ito yung telepono na kahit saan mo dalhin is makakausap mo na yung gustong kausapin dahil wala na nga itong wire. And mas nagiging popular ito sa mga tahanan. Noong 1999 naman is naimbento yung Nokia. And yung Nokia noon is sikat ito dahil ito yung cellphone na matibay and kilala sa buong mundo na mobile phone. Noong 2007 naman is naimbento yung iPhone. Ito yung iPhone is kilala bilang isang smartphone na ginagamit ng mayayamang tao noon. Noong 2014 naman is naimbento ang iPhone 16. And yung iPhone 16 is nagbibigay ng daan para ma-enjoy ng mga tao yung paggamit ng iPhone. And nakikita na nila yung mga gusto nilang kausapin dahil smartphone na to, mas advanced na to sa mga naunang telepono. And hanggang dun lang po ang topic ko.
Mobile commerce, the buying and selling of goods and services through wireless handheld devices such as smartphone and tablets is referred to as mobile commerce or m-commerce. Dito sa mobile commerce, ito yung yung bibili tayo at magbebenta tayo through online. Yung hindi na natin kailangan pumunta sa physical store kasi meron naman sa mga online platform na katulad ng Shopee, yan, Lazada, yan at iba pa. Mobile devices, the main instrument for m-commerce are smartphones and tablets. These gadgets come with strong processing power, internet connectivity, and a range of apps for payment and shopping. Ito naman yung mga mobile devices na ginagamit natin like your smartphone and tablet na may strong processing powers tsaka yung mga internet connectivity na kung saan pwede tayong gumamit ng mga application for payment like yung mga GCash at saka yung mga Paymaya. Then pwede rin tayo mag-shopping dito through online like yung Shopee, Lazada at iba pa. Mobile networks. Mobile devices require connectivity to access the internet and engage with online platforms which is provided via cellular and Wi-Fi networks. Ito naman yung yung makikita natin sa cellphone or yung internet natin sa cellphone na ginagamit natin para makagamit tayo ng mga application. Meron din kasi tayo mga application na kailangan ng mga internet connection. So si mobile network siya yung magpo-provide ng internet para magamit natin yung mga application na yun. Mobile websites and apps. To offer a convenient shopping experience on mobile devices, business develop websites that are optimized for mobile devices. So ito naman yung yung mga website o yung mga application na ginagamit natin through through online na pang shopping na mas convenient sa atin na di na natin kailangan pumunta ng physical store para mag-shopping. Through online makakabili na tayo ng mga needs natin nang walang hassle. The next is mobile commerce versus electronic commerce. To make it short, yung mobile commerce tsaka electronic commerce is siya, pare silang form ng electronic commerce. Ang pinagkaiba lang nila is yung mobile commerce ay yung mga smartphone at saka yung mga tablet. Like sa electronic commerce, ito naman yung mga personal computer yan. Ang advantage lang nitong mobile commerce is mas convenient siyang dalhin kasi pwede mo siyang bitbitin kahit saan. Mobile computing, using a portable devices to access and process data while traveling, free from fixed location. This has completely changed the way we engage with technology by enabling us to access information and devices from anywhere at any time. So sa mobile computing, ito yung yung even na nasa travel tayo, pwede tayo makapag-work through online. Like kapag may dala tayong mga laptop or cellphone, pwede tayo maka-access sa mga information and services from anywhere at any time. The evolution of mobile computing. Mobile computing has evolved significantly since its early days. So dito naman sa evolution ng mobile computing, parang year by year kasi nagkakaroon tayo ng development or innovative na gadget. So next is the early days, the first portable computer like Osborne 1 and compact portable where bulky required AC power. And laptop and PDAs, the 1990s saw the rise of laptop and personal digital assistants PDAs offering greater portability and functionality. The next is smartphones and tablet. The 2000s brought the smartphone revolution, combining mobile communication with powerful computing capabilities and internet access. The three elements of mobile computing, mobile devices. This includes smartphones, tablet, laptops, and even wearable devices like smartwatches. Next is mobile networks, wireless networks such as cellular, yung mga 3G, 4G, and 5G, tsaka yung Wi-Fi. The next is mobile software. This includes operating system like yung mga iOS, tsaka yung mga Android, tsaka application or apps. Cellular phone. Cellular phones' growing popularity has completely changed how we communicate with the outside world, and this is additionally true of purchasing goods online. So, alam naman natin na yung cellphone is everyday use natin siya. And through cellphone, pwede na rin tayo magbayad ng mga bills through online, and pwede na rin tayo mag-shopping through online na mas convenient sa atin na hindi na natin kailangan pa pumunta ng physical store para makabili ng mga pangangailangan natin.
Bluetooth. Ito ay naimbento ni Geoff Hartsen noong 1994 under Ericsson Mobile. At ang Bluetooth ay hango kay King Harold Gormson dahil sa kanyang dead tooth, which is ang kulay ay dark blue-gray. Dahil na rin sa pag-reunite niya ng dalawang bansa, which is ang Denmark at Norway. Ang Bluetooth ay isang wireless technology na ginagamit natin para magkonekta ang dalawang devices. Like for example, mag-share tayo ng files sa other device. GPS or Global Positioning System. It is owned by United States Space Force at ang unang pangalan nito ay Navstar Global Positioning System. Ginagamit natin to para malaman ang eksaktong lugar. For example, ang Google Maps at ang Waze. IM or Instant Messaging. Ito ay isang way para mas mapadali at mas mapabilis ang pakikipag-communicate natin sa ibang tao. For example, Messenger, Facebook, Telegram, WhatsApp, at Viber.
Good day everyone. Next is wireless device. Wireless device is without a physical wired connection enable communication, data exchange and automation across sector as the technology evolves. More innovative and diverse wireless devices are expected to emerge in the future. So, ang wireless device po, ito po isa sa pinaka-ine-expect natin mag-evolve in the future. Like, ngayon po, dati po kasi ang ginagamit lang natin na pakipag-communicate is yung telephone na disaksak or yung sa sulat, ganun lang po. Pero po ngayon, kaya po natin makipag-communicate gamit lang po yung data or yung mga Wi-Fi na ginagamit natin ngayon dito sa generation natin. Kumbaga, mas parang napapadali siya ngayon. Yun po yung wireless device. Next po is yung GSM or Global System for Mobile Communication. Ano nga ba ang Global System Communication? Ito po yung digital cellular technology used for transmitting mobile voice and data device. Ito din po yun, including din po yung roaming service. Roaming is the ability to use your GSM or global system mobile phone number in another GSM network. Ito din po yung mix or narrow band time division multi-access or sa TDMA or technique for transmitting signals. So, ito po yung ginagamit natin for transmitting mobile voice or mga data services na ginagamit natin ngayon. Example po ng mga services nito is yung voice calls, video text and face smile, tapos call waiting or call hold, call forwarding. Ayun po yung mga services na meron ang isang GSM or Global System for Mobile Communication. And next po is international roaming. Ito po isa rin po to sa mga example ng pwedeng magamit ng Global System for Mobile Communication. Pero ano ba ang global or international roaming? Allows a mobile phone user to connect to foreign networks, extending their cellular services beyond their home network's coverage area. It involves agreements with carriers in the different countries, varying in coverage rates and services, making it a convenient way to stay connected while traveling. So, ang international roamings, ito po yung mga mobile phones na ginagamit natin to connect to foreign networks. Yun po. And then, ito yung in-extend po nila yung services nila para po dun sa to stay connected tayo dun habang tayo po ay nagtra-traveling. And ayun.
Personal digital assistant or PDA is also a handheld device that combines computing, communication, and organization features. And also, PDA were popular from 1990s and 20s. nauna sa mga smartphones. So, ang example nito is yung virtual assistants, digital note-takings, and wearable devices like smartwatch. So, yun yung mga example like virtual assistant like Siri, yung mga Google Assistant, and yung Alexa. So, wearable devices like smartwatch, yung mga Apple Watch. So, next is the 1G, 2G, and 3G technology. 1G of first generation was introduced in 1980s. And ang kaya lang i-provide dito is yung voice communication. Dahil lang sa limited coverage, kumbaga mabagal ito. Next is 2G or second generation was introduced in 1990s. So, ang 2G ay nakakapag-provide siya ng hindi lang voice record but also data communication, and also nag-increase na yung capacity nito and yung performance ng sound is much better kesa sa 1G. And last, the 3G or the third generation was introduced in 20s. So, dito mas marami siyang nagagamitan bukod sa voice and data communication, may multimedia communication na rin siya, and mas mabilis yung data transfer nito kaysa sa 1G and 2G generation. And yung capacity nito is also nag-increase din talaga from 1G, 2G hanggang sa dito. And last, yung wireless fidelity or yung Wi-Fi. So, yung Wi-Fi is your internet provider na nag-aalo sa atin na mag-connect and nagpo-provide siya ng network communication. So, ito yung mga example nito, yung router like yung PLDT, yung ganun na internet provider. Yung LAN, yung sa area lang talaga natin na nakaka-connect tayo and ng network. So, yun lang naman siya, ganun lang naman yung wireless fidelity. So, thank you.
So next is short messaging service or SIMS is a scheme used for sending short text messages or up to 160 characters between mobile subscribers. SIMS or short messaging service are more popular known in the Philippines as text messaging. So when we say short messaging service, ito yung ginagamit natin noon hanggang ngayon. So kumbaga ginagamit natin sa pagpapadala o paghatid ng mensahe sa taong gusto natin dalan ng mensahe through mobile devices o electronic system. So ang pagtitext ay dapat hindi lalagpas sa 160 characters. So, ang example ng short messaging service is Nokia, yung SIM card to SIM card. Diba? Kapag yung may mga reminder na nagte-text sa atin, ayun yung tinatawag na short messaging service. For short is limited lang yung messages na pwedeng isend. So next is multimedia messaging service is standard way to send messages that include multimedia content to and from a mobile phone over a cellular network. So when you say multimedia messaging service, ito ay pwede rin magpadala ng pictures, video, or audio. Same na naman din sila ng short messaging service sa pagpadala ng message sa gusto natin dalan. But kasi sa multimedia is pwede na siyang pictures, video, or audio. So, for example, sa multimedia messaging service is as Messenger. Sa Messenger, hindi lang naman sa chat ang pwede natin isend, kundi pictures, video, or audio. So last is Wireless Application Protocol, for short WAP. It's an open international standard for application that use wireless communication. It is a technology standard that enables application to work over digital wireless network. So pag sinabi natin Wireless Application Protocol, ito ay nagbibigay pahintulot sa mga wireless devices na pwedeng mag-access ng mga internet.